So this is the first of our Kidsgrove Rotary Meets interviews, which we're going to be putting onto our YouTube site. And the first person that we've managed to get to volunteer to talk to us is Gill Porter from the North Staffordshire Carers Association. So Gill, thank you very much for joining us tonight at Kidsgrove Rotary. I'd really just be interested to sort of find out what your role is within North Staffordshire Carers and how you got involved.
Right, I'm actually the Young Carers Officer at North Staff Carers. I've been there for 10 years now in various roles. Started off as a support worker and a development worker and then a coordinator, and now I'm the Young Carers Officer. A role I absolutely love.
Excellent. So how long has the North Staffordshire Carers Association been running?
We've been going about 24 years now. And the Young Carers Department's been going about 14, 15 of those years. It was started off with one worker, and it's just built up over time. And now we're actually working with about 480, 60 to 80 young carers. It varies.
And what does your work involve on a sort of day-to-day basis?
My role. I run the department there. I assess the new young carers that come in. I go out and meet the families, see what kind of service the young people need, allocate workers to them, allocate them young carers to the groups, oversee the financial side of it that we keep within our budget, because obviously we've all got budgets to maintain.
So when you say carers and you say young carers, what can you sort of just fill us in on what you mean by that?
Yeah, all the children, the young people that we work with are from 5 right up to 25. The children, they are young people and they're young adults. That's
great. And so when you say you're an association that you support the young carers, so what sort of things do you do to, I'm guessing you kind of help them, because I'm guessing that every day of the week they're looking after a parent or a sibling or somebody who's in need of I'm guessing 24/7 help. So how does the association then help these young carers in their lives?
Right, we offer one-to-one support and we offer club support groups and clubs, but they're not, as adults we would have support clubs where we'd sit down and talk about the situations at home. We take our young carers out of that environment and hopefully allow them to be children and not have the responsibilities and sometimes the adult role that they have to take at home, because you know our young carers are all caring for either a parent or a sibling. Some it's grandparents. You know, sometimes it's mental health issues. Wow. It can be physical disabilities. It could be life-limiting illnesses, learning disabilities. It could be drugs. It could be alcohol. And we just take them out of there, put them into our sometimes one-to-one support, depending on if that's what they need, or into our age-appropriate clubs and groups where we have lots of fun activities. You know, we're running about the arts and crafts, indoor and outdoor sports. We have the Wii's that we take, they do all the sports on the Wii's and all the dance on the PlayStation for girls, like the Sing Star and everything like that. So it's encouraging, although it's on PlayStations and things, you know, sometimes it's just the group activities that they do, but there's also the arts and crafts which allow the young people to express themselves as well, and it's all about having fun.
Excellent. When you said you've got group activities which bring them into environments, I guess, with children that they may not necessarily meet on a day-to-day basis because they're spending maybe most of their time either going to school, come home, care, or even just caring, I guess, every day of the week. When you said about one-to-one activities, what sort of things would that involve? I'm guessing your activities that you talk about week, but
it depends on the age group of the child. Sometimes it will take them and do some one-to-one where they can sit and do some arts and crafts and talk to us and make things to take. You know, they might have a parent that's, you know, not living at home at the time.
Right.
They might be in hospital. It's things to make. But then they'd be able to talk about how they're feeling. For some of the older ones, it is to sit and just talk about what's going on how they feel about it. It doesn't necessarily have to be about their role, because their role can affect their other lives as well. It can affect their life at school. And it's just talking over things. You know, very often young people will say, but I've got my friends to talk to, but, you know, we all know that sometimes our friends tell us, you know, what we want to hear.
Absolutely. And you were saying about some of the group activities as well, so would you be taking them out to theme? I'm guessing you've got sort of 3 or 4 age groups within there, because you've got your younger ones, middle age group, and then your older sort of up to 25. What sort of things would you be taking them out to get them away from that environment that they're in every day?
Yeah, during the school holidays, the main ones, Easter, summer and Christmas, we try and do something a little bit different to the normal groups that they would go to every month. So we would, at Easter, maybe, you know, we'd go bowling, or might go to the cinema and McDonald's, and the Monkey Forest for the little ones. They love the Monkey Forest at Trenton. They'll go along there. You know, the climbing wall, we've been to the climbing wall as well. Wow. And we've taken all ages from 5 right up to right the way through the age groups. Up to the climbing wall. And in the summer, the trips then are mainly theme parks. That's what the young people ask for. But we do an alternative then for those that don't like spinning and the heights. And we put an alternative on for Chester Zoo for those that aren't keen on theme parks. And at Christmas we try to do the pantomime and the Christmas party. And this year we're going to Telford Ice Rink with the older ones, and we've been there before, and that's amazing to see the young people who haven't been ice skating before, because we're all about, you know, we'd love to give our young carers new experiences. That's you know, a lot of their peers are having, and they love the ice skating.
And this must take quite a bit of money to organise and run, because you're saying 400 odd people, carers that you've got that you're just managing. Yeah. Are you funded by the county council, or is it from funding that you have to raise as an organisation? Right.
We, as an association, we work north south wide, so we work in the Newcastle, the Moorlands, and the Stoke City areas. We do get funding from Stoke City Social Care. We get funding from Sass County Council. And we have a project for 13 to 25-year-olds, the Up To You project, which is funded by the Big Lottery. We have previously had Children in Need and Comic Relief funded projects, and we're just always trying to apply for extra funding, because all the extra funding means that we can support more young carers.
Excellent. You just mentioned there the Up To You project. I know I looked at on your website before we had a chat, and could you just sort of briefly, just in sort of maybe a minute or so, just let us know sort of what that project is? I know you talked about the lottery project as well.
That's the Up To You project.
It is, right?
The lottery. That's the name of the lottery project. We're just coming up to the end of year 2 of a 5-year project, and this is to help young people maintain their education or get into college or into employment. And it's just helping those that are struggling, that are still at school, or those that have actually dropped out of school, and it's just helping them to get back into education, into employment, being able to achieve, and sometimes it's small steps, but it's to achieve something, and to let them know that, you know, you can go back to education. Education's lifelong learning. We all know that now, and it doesn't matter if they've been out for a year, you know, they can still go back, and we will support them any way we can. We have a life skills worker in that project who will do, you know, we're doing confidence, raising confidence, the self-esteem. We're trying to teach people how to do the CVs properly and giving them interviewing skills. And we've got some really good links, networking links with people who are delivering that training for us as well. But it's helping them achieve and know that there is, you know, that there is help out there for them to get back into education or into employment.
Brilliant. So this must take quite a few people as well to sort of involve. I mean, I'm guessing you have where are you based and what sort of team do you have? And a sort of follow-on question from that is really, can people like myself get involved and help you?
Yes, we have a team in the Young Carers Department. There's 9 of us currently, working various hours from full-time 30 hours, 18 and a half hours. They're the group leaders that work in the office, and then we have people that work for us, staff that work for us on a Saturday at the clubs and groups. And then we do have volunteers that will come along and help at the clubs and groups. Anybody who wants to volunteer for us needs to get in touch with Sarah Wilson, who is our volunteer coordinator. And that wouldn't just be for our department, that would be for any of the departments, you know, for drivers, for befrienders on the telephone lines. So for the adult services as well, for clerical admin assistants in our department. So anybody who's interested in volunteering, that's who they need to get in touch with.
And we've just put Sarah's details up there as well. Just so if you do want to get in touch, then please do contact them through Sarah, and hopefully you can help out and volunteer for NSCA. As well, what we'll do is we'll pop any more details up that we've got from Gill tonight onto this media feed, so you can find out as much as you want about the North Staffordshire Carers Association, particularly the work that Gill and the team do for the young carers. But Gill, one of the last questions we sort of want to ask you as well is, as we are the Kidsgrove Rotary, what were your perceptions of Rotary before you came to the meeting? And we do want you to be honest. And you can be brutal.
No, actually, I've heard of the Rotary. I've met, some Rotarians before, and the work that the Rotarians do, is invaluable to people like us, to local charities. You don't realise what you consider as a small amount can actually mean to charities such as ourselves.
Brilliant.
And it's, I've had a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Met some real characters. I've been made to feel very welcome, and I've just had a real good night. And I just thank you all for inviting me along.
That's a pleasure. Gill Porter from the North Staffordshire Carers Association, thank you for your time with Kidsgrove Rotary this evening. Hopefully this interview wasn't as painful as it might have been, but sadly we didn't have video due to a laptop failure. But again, thanks for your time and a safe journey home this evening.
Thank you.